I'll have yes, I will have a link for you for Google Hangouts here shortly. I don't know. I got a couple people asking about video, why they can't see me. I have no idea. Okay, there we go. So welcome all of you over on Google Hangouts. Sorry for some of the little technical difficulties. Just let you know we're live from Puerto Rico. That's right. Doing the show live in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The number to call in is right back here. For those of you who can see it, 347-237-5539. To listen to this show, the podcast version of the show, the full unabated 3 hours, or any part of that, you can go to the website, the Cold Hard Truth on Sports website, the CHTonsports.com, and just upper left-hand corner, click on listen. The handles you can follow us at are at the CHTonsports.com. That is the show. And my direct is at Matt Long Sports. Right. Now, I don't know what that just did. Now, let me situate these screens here. I don't think Kevin McHale ever was really the answer for Dwight Howard. It's a good sales pitch. They sold his team on it. If you go over to Cold Hard Truth on Sports webpage, just search Dwight Howard. You'll see the article I wrote on Dwight and that whole situation of where he was going to go. I had him pegged going to the San Antonio Spurs because a source of mine said that's something where he would really enjoy playing, which, you know, most players that end up going to the Spurs do enjoy playing there. Unfortunately, the Spurs were in the middle of playing the Heat in the NBA Finals. So the Spurs front office wanted him to wait until after the NBA Finals, and his camp decided to tell them, no, that not going to happen. So he never met with them. Now, you can read more detail over on the website where some of the places why I didn't have him go in certain places. Who's better? Um, all right, we're back over on Google Play. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. I got the embedded link for that over on the Facebook invite. So if you want to go over to the invite over on Facebook, you will be able to link to it, and I'll put it up on the page as well. There's a lot of people in Texas that, you know, they're Rockets fans right now because they've been to the playoffs the last couple years. They have some quasi stars. James Harden's a star, not a superstar. I don't think he'll ever amount to being a superstar. I kind of question if he really wants to be a part of a championship team or if he just wants to be a superstar. I think superstar is higher on his list of priorities than actually being on a winning team. So, obviously, you don't agree to a trade going from a team that went to the NBA Finals to turn around to go to a team that has been to the NBA Finals for about a half a decade since Yao Ming was dressing up. I think Tracy McGrady was on the roster back then too. But you look at this team, you're seeing, well, they can play. You know, you saw what they did against the Clippers. I just think Clippers they're missing something. They don't have continuity. You know, you look at Blake Griffin, he's as best as he's going to get. He's worked in a jump shot. That's what any good college player that goes to the NBA to become an above average player or star does. They create this jump shot for themselves. They learn how to shoot better. And that's part of the thing you have to stay in the league. And Blake Griffin's been able to do that. He's not the shooter that they really need him to be, and he's not the pivotal star that they need him to be. All right, so I'm not going to put it up over on that page. All right. But I don't see them much more than what they are right now, unless they need something else, depth, part of it. Not close to competing for a title. I understand that they're in the conference championship, and a lot of people are like, well, hey, they're one of the last four teams. Yeah, they are one of the last four teams, but they're not deserving of a title. They're not good enough to compete for a title. Whoever, if they went and played against the Cavs as is, they would lose. They would lose to the Cavaliers. Maybe a sweep. Probably 5 games. Probably get one. Probably get one game out of the Cavs. LeBron has an off night. You know, their teams aren't ready. The same way you see Atlanta. That's not a championship team. So if you folks in Atlanta that don't actually ever go to games, yeah, I know. I hear. I got people down there say y'all don't ever go to games. See, well, lately. Yeah, lately. It's the playoffs, of course, lately. The NBA season's too long. 82 games and baseball. What the F is their problem? 162. Are you serious? That's literally half of the year. It's like half the year they're just playing every freaking day. And then a lot of them go play in the off season, you know. The Houston Rockets are not where they need to be to compete for a championship. They are they're good. They're going to be one of those teams that are going to get to the playoffs each and every year. Even if they were in the East, I see a lot of people on message boards and stuff like that arguing, hey, if they were in the East, they would make it to the finals. You know, well, they almost made it in the West. So that's probably pretty good logic. They probably would. Problem is, they would face the team that they're getting their asses beat right now by. How is the outcome any different? How is it any different? I don't see how it's any different of an outcome if they're in the East. If they can't beat the teams that matter in the West, then what does it matter what conference that they're in if they're in the East or the West? The division doesn't matter. They are winning. All right. Over on Facebook and Twitter, I will have that the link up to join us live. Yeah, Google Hangouts. Right. I don't know how well it's working. For those of you that do want to check out that format, it's having some quirks tonight. It's cut out a couple times, so just fair warning. Sometimes it's better just to listen. Just to listen. Are they serious? It said, "Aw, snap!" It just broke. I'm not even lying. That's just it. It went out. It said, "Aw, snap!" Oh my gosh. They wonder why. We wonder why our literacy rate has went down in this country, or all across the world, really, but particularly here. That just shows, when you have kids learning from kids and spending all their time with kids, it's going to have an adverse effect. What do kids know? You have the blind leading the blind. You is going to spell with a U. You think it really takes that much longer to add in 2 characters if you're texting? I get Twitter. You're limited on characters. But if you're responding on Facebook or in a text, just type it. There's real. I have friends, I have family that are teachers, and they tell me these reports that these kids are turning in. It's like they're texting on paper. I don't even know how to respond to that. It's just a smile, shaking my head. That's all. That's all I can say. I'm just shaking my head. Oh. All right. Over on MRN Broadcasting, we have every Sunday we have a boxing show called The Boxing Source. I call in. I usually call in every week or every other week. It's hosted by James Bell. He's our lead analyst for boxing at the Cold Hard Truth on Sports, and he hosts that show on Sundays at, I believe it's 7:30 to 9:30 the last hour is an overtime segment, just like here on this show. We go 3 hours, he goes 2. Our first 2 hours are live via Blog Talk Radio and also available on Google Hangouts. And we had Skype set up, but I don't know what the deal was with Skype. So I don't know. This formatting and stuff, like kind of to break it down, on Mondays, go through system checks and get everything kind of set up for the shows on Tuesday. And this way on Tuesday, the pages are there, ready to go. All the equipment is set up. Everything's ready to go for the show. And then we do sound checks and stuff an hour before, and everything's working fine. And then we get to airtime, and this is where things actually don't end up working. So I have to go back and forth between these here. So again, I'm going to take a quick break for those of you over on Blog Talk. When I get back, I'm going to get, like I said, into some more NBA talk and boxing talk. You are listening to the Cold Hard Truth on Sports here on Amarin Broadcasting, powered by BlogTalkRadio.com. All right. And for all of you over on Google Hangouts, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep talking through the break. It's about a 3-minute break over on the other side. But it kind of telling you the way that the setup works. The way that the setup works is I got the commercials playing in my ear. So if you guys are sitting here wondering, why has he stopped talking? I have commercials running here, and there's different commercials that run. So I got to play those commercial breaks. It's not like stuff that you see terrestrial radio where I have a bunch of stuff already set up that will auto play. Each one of these commercial sets play independently of each other. So I have to manually go in and play them. So if you see me pause for a second, I'm listening in this ear, trying to do it both at the same time. Hey, for all of you, let you guys know over on Google Hangouts, I have some comedy specials to give out for Smokes and Richard Reese, Smokes, Jokes, and Laser Beams. I have some free copies, some digital copies that I'll be giving out. So if you want to call in to all the callers that call in during the show, the number's here, 347-237-5539. I will I'll hook all the callers up tonight. I'll IM or email you a link so you can get the digital copy of Richard Reese's Smoke, Jokes, and Laser Beams. For those of you over on Blog Talk that are listening or watching in here on Google Hangouts, we'll be back over on the other side in about 50 seconds. So now you'll see this part of the show. It will be available on my YouTube channel. The handle is Matt Long Sports, the same as with all my handles. You can also go over to the website, thechtonsports.com, see all the articles that I have up there, the affiliated articles I have with boxing, MMA, and fitness. Awesome fitness articles that are up over there. One particular was kind of interesting because I read a study on this a few months ago. So hold on, I'll finish that thought in a second. All right. Welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth on Sports here on MRN Broadcasting, powered by BLOGTALKRADIO.com. Welcoming everybody back over on the Blog Talk Radio side. All my people over on Google Hangouts stayed on through the break. So I was talking a little bit about the website, thechtonsports.com. We got a bunch of new stuff up over there. NFL, NASCAR. I have about 4 or 5 new NASCAR articles up over on the page. We have some new contributors over there. I'll have them on the show here. I'll probably have one of them on the show here in the next few weeks to kind of talk a little bit about what's going on in NASCAR. We also, like I said, the NFL, boxing. We made a commitment a few months ago to step it up big time for boxing. And the commitment that we've made to boxing, I think, is pretty good. So you can see a lot of the new stuff that we have up over there. We have new contributors that are adding to that every couple of days. We got some brand new stuff going up over there. We are in the works of having an MMA affiliate. Right now, we just signed up as an affiliate partner with for fitness and health and fitness stuff. That's another big difference that I like as part of my website as well. Welcome back, those who were over on Google Hangouts. This Google Hangout thing is just having fits. So we'll see how much longer we go with that. And Blog Talk is now having network errors. Oh, that's brilliant. All right. Technology is wonderful. Welcome back. Yeah, we've been having some equipment malfunctions here the last few weeks here on the show. I was just talking about getyourfittogether.org. It's our new affiliate partner. So definitely go and check out their website or read their articles that we have up over on our page. I'm getting a lot of messages in now. I appreciate it. See, y'all are really good listeners on this show. Very highly intelligent listeners. Like a lot of radio shows get some questionable people that call in, and that's cool, you know. But uh, I don't ever get really those questionable people to call in. I get some people that are kind of, you know, have the HOD. For those who don't know, HOD is Homer Obsessive Disorder. Don't worry, they'll be in the DSM. Be in the DSM 6. It'll come out in 5 years. I even got an article up over on the page, HOD, and everybody has someone like that in their life, friends, family members that are just a fan default. You know, it's not even that they're the ones that are dressing up in the wild costumes to go to the game, although that is what the pictures are of on the article. Um, that's not even it. Like, you'll get people that no matter how much information you give them, no matter what you explain to them, or say, hey, listen, this is what's going on. They're like, I'll use Jameis Winston for an example. Obviously, he still went number one overall, but the whole time, again, it's a lot of stupid little things. And for somebody to be so naive to think that none of it mattered, that's so naive. You know, we talk about little things like everybody's all been up over, guys like Josh Gordon. Guys smoke some weed. The league was considering making it legal for medicinal purposes, but they actually increased the tolerance of THC that you could have. They changed in this the last drug policy they updated that gave, took Josh Gordon's suspension from 16 to 10 games. They changed it to where it could be more tolerable. What got him? The crazy thing is when you were lot. He was throwing punches. He was still active. That's the important part. Being active. Um, that's what they talk about even in basketball. It's not about necessarily making every shot, but if you're active on the boards, usually you can put yourself back in a position where you can end up being successful on that end and getting points off of rebounds. So that's important. Activity's an important thing. And that was over on NBC Premier Boxing Championships on NBC. There was a few other fights. Friday Night Fights was the last Friday Night Fights was Friday. I didn't catch all of that. Uh, I did see Johnson got a second round knockout to retain his belt and to get the Boxino championship belt. I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea there was a damn Boxino belt. Not sure what that was. It was on ESPN Deportes on Saturday. I was watching it back and forth between the commercials on Pro Boxing. No, I was actually after because they switched the last fight, the light heavyweight fight, over to was it Rodriguez and I forget the other cat's name. Rodriguez and Baker. They switched it over to NBC Sports from NBC. And here in Puerto Rico, for whatever reason, I don't have NBC Sports. And I can't find it online. So I didn't see the fight. But I did catch the 13 seconds that it took Johnson to knock out his opponent. It was, it was one of those quick fights you see with undercards. You don't mind those fights for your undercard fights. You're seeing active punching, people getting hit, people hitting back, someone gets knocked out. That's what gets the crowd going. The last fight I covered here in Puerto Rico, the Felix Verdejo, Marco Lopez fight, out of 10 bouts, only one of them went to the scorecards. The rest of them were knockout or technical knockout. It was really entertaining. It's really a different atmosphere from fans here too, as far as boxing goes. So you see a lot more people watch it. And I don't understand why it doesn't have more fan appeal. There is a certain technicality to it. You have the contact and the action that people look for, and it's not really hard to understand. You hit the other guy and land your punches, and you get points. If you get out of the way and he doesn't hit you, they don't get points. That's pretty much it. And you get 2 or 3 points. It's really no different in boxing. You follow each other around the ring and you try to hit each other in the waist or the stomach or the face or the chest. All that stuff counts. Your arms and gloves those don't count for points. So no, I'm not gonna talk about Mayweather. I mean, those of you that are really trying to talk about Mayweather and Pacquiao, I mean, I don't get that. I don't get why they're trying to talk Mayweather Pacquiao. Just put it on the screen. No, I don't want you to call in to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't get that. I don't get Okay, so for those of you that were over on Blog Talk, they're having more connection problems over there. Swell. It's exactly what we want to happen. We want to. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Okay. Welcome back to all of you over on Blog Talk. As I was telling our the listeners over here on Google Hangouts, for whatever reason, there seems to be quite a bit of technical difficulty this evening on our formats here, for whatever reason or not. The number to call in, 347-237-5539. It's the number to call in live over on Blog Talk. And Pacquiao fans, Mayweather fans, we're not having that conversation. Winston fans, Jameis Winston fans, we're not having that conversation. I'm not. None of them are doing anything right now. I don't care how Jameis Winston is practicing right now. He's going to look good in shorts. You realize we have like 3 more months till he puts pads on. 4 more months till he's actually playing in non-meaningful games. Super fans. Wonderful super fans. Where would the world be without super fans? 347-237-5539. So over you, for those of you over on Blog Talk, I'm going to go to a quick commercial break over there. And if you don't want to hear the commercials, you can stay tuned on Google Hangouts as well. So for those of you over there, I will be back here in about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes. When I get back, I will be getting into some of the things that are going on in the NFL. You're listening to MRN Broadcasting, powered by BlogTalkRadio.com. All right. For those of you that are listening, watching in here on Google Hangouts, this part of the show, I'm gonna stay on Hangouts here for maybe 30 more minutes, maybe. So if you want to call in, be a part of the show, 347-237-5539 over on that's the toll-free line to call in. The website is thechtonsports.com. The CHT on Sports is the handle, or at Matt Long Sports. So let's oh man. Oh, thanks for the reminder. Yes, if you you can go over to richardreeselive.com and check out comedian Richard Reese's website. And and welcome back everybody over on Blog Talk. I was just telling our listeners over on Google Hangouts that I'm giving out for all the callers and participants on the show tonight. I'm giving out copies of Richard Reese's Smokes, Jokes, and Laser Beams comedy special. Again, the number 347-237-5539. Having a little bit of issue with the fan here. Just drying my joints out. Oh, yes, tonight's been a fun night. It's been a really fun night. Can you tell? It's been tremendous. Clowns. Yep, clowns. Now, I wanted to get into a little bit of the NFL. For those that aren't following it this time of year, because hockey playoffs, NBA. You're watching on Google Hangouts. This is the end of the broadcast for the show. I'm sorry. I want to continue for the next hour, 2 hours with you guys over on Google Hangouts, but unfortunately, the format keeps cutting out. So I'm going to end the broadcast over there. If you want to listen to the show uncut the entire time, you can go over to blogtalkradio.com and listen over there. You can go to thechtonsports.com/listen and listen to all the podcasted version of this show. Our sister show, CMT Firestorm, which is on Wednesday nights from 8:30 to 11:30, and the Boxing Source every Sunday from 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern time on all of those. So for those of you over on Google Hangouts and watching on YouTube, that would be Auf Wiedersehen for this evening. I'm out over there. Now, for those of you still here